Right, y'all. Welcome into the five count. Let's do this thing right.
Yeah.
Y'all see it? Word life. Just to keep it on lock like a. We are celebrating John Cena. We do not own the rights to this music. Here we go. We always cut it like that. Hey, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in to another episode of the Five Count, the greatest wrestling podcast nobody knows about yet. With me, your host, the Great Raw. I'm accompanied by always as my co-host with my co-host here, the great, the amazing Brother Seaberry.
Yeah, brother Seabeard, but with this big gold world belt and this NWA belt, just call me Two Gold Scorpion.
Two Gold Scorpio. Y'all heard him. Y'all heard him. Y'all heard him. And I'm doing this for my man KO. I have not looked it up. You know, I tell people fact check me all the time. I got to go read and see if it's true. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look right now. I'm gonna go fact check my man KO and see if he was telling me the truth about something. Here, folks, we let loose a little bit more. We say things that might be controversial, but I'm not telling you, in the words of the late great Sean O'Hare, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. I mean, so I'm trying to see if it's true.
Ah, man, you making me sad. Jindrak and O'Hara was so underrated. That was a nice little tag team in the waning days of WCW.
So was it true? Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Sports Illustrated. He's telling the truth. Sports Illustrated. Promotion of the year is AEW. So shout out AEW. Shout out to you. Promotion of the year. Shout out my main man Tony Khan. All right. I believe in competition.
Here is a, let me give you a quick take on AEW.
And here I come. Get ready. Go ahead, brother Seaberry, as
All right,
I
all right,
unveil.
all right. AEW is like taking the worst and longest route possible to your favorite restaurant
Jesus.
because the matches are bomb. Like the matches on pay per view, but like
Don't know about that. This belonged to Miro, who is back as Rusev in WWE. This was the Miro TNT Championship belt. KO,
okay,
I'm wearing it for you.
but like the build up and the booking is kind of booty.
I guess depending on what it is, I could
So like,
kind
hey,
of sort of see
like
that.
I said, the matches are great. The build up, buns.
I guess it depends on what you're looking at. I've had I could see that side. I could. I love this championship belt. Thank you, Tony Khan. You didn't provide this belt, but you did allow my main man Miro to come out there as the redeemer, and he actually had this championship. And as soon as I saw it, I said, my man Miro said, your TNT championship is boring. Let me put this thing on a white strap right here and put the colors of my homeland, Bulgaria, on here. This belt was made by my good friend M. Assad Ali at Great Custom Belts. He is on Facebook in that group. Hit him up; he'll take care of you. He makes great titles, great championship titles. I love this belt. I will always be honored to hold it, and I will give you your props, M. Assad Ali. You're a bad man. Shout out Stephen Hammer and the rest of the guys in my belt collector group. I love me some AEW. I do. But and you know I like wrestling. I was a fan of it ever since I was a what we call a young whippersnapper. I was a big fan. But my man KO brought up some points. He was on our Catch the Fade podcast. He brought some points that really do hit home. Um, I'm not. I don't know if it's a situation sometimes where Triple H's hands are tied. You know, he has to do what he has to do. I think he ultimately does care about the product. I really do. I saw what he did with NXT, transforming NXT from a game show, that nonsense, into the black and gold brand. Like, absolutely phenomenal what he did with NXT. Like
Oh, I agree.
I mean, he had that thing. You wouldn't
NXT
even believe
Black and Gold was popping.
it was not. You would not know that was developmental. That was real deal. So big shout out to Triple H for his work there, and Shawn Michaels is continuing that. I still like it. Now they've kind of gone away from the 2.0, whatever that stuff Vince McMahon was doing with the colors and all of that, and
Yeah.
things kind of went back,
Oh, your 90 colors of Benetton looking at that stuff.
and it gives you a feeling of kind of back to black and gold without saying it. But yes, they've got some what's the word? Can I say identity issues on what they want to do? At times they can produce some very good television, and at times they can do some things that make you scratch your head and go, "What are y'all thinking about? I don't understand." Your ticket price is outrageous. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and I'm not saying that against you. I do like WWE. I love me some AEW. I like New Japan, TNA. I mean, I love wrestling, right? But these ticket prices, y'all out of pocket, man. I don't know who your target audience is, but for all of Vince McMahon's faults, and there were a lot. One thing that Vince McMahon never really did, if you notice, he did not raise ticket prices. He kept ticket prices where families could come and see the show. He did understand where his bread was buttered. So
Yeah.
I will say, that's one thing I miss about him is that he did know that. And especially in the economy like it is now, everything is so high. It's crazy to me that TKO, and I get it, and it's not just on their side, because if I look at UFC, those prices have gotten higher too. The Premier Mixed Martial Arts
But
Association on the
TKO
planet.
owns them as well.
That's why. I mean, and TKO cares about this.
Yeah.
They care about this.
They
They don't
got
care about.
UFC, they got WWE, they got
They don't care about us.
they got professional bull riding, and they're trying to start like a boxing league.
Yeah, so they care about, and don't get me wrong, as a corporation or a company, you should care about that. You at the end of the day, you're in it to make money. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do that. Yeah, they absolutely should be in a business of making money. I'm not hating on them. If anyone thinks I'm hating on them, I promise you I'm not. I'm not hating on them. But at the same token, it's ridiculous to me that these prices are so wild. Like, if you guys, we're in Memphis, for those of you that may not know by the time you see this podcast, and I know here to go to a WWE show, I just use this is a Raw that's coming, I think, if my memory is right. But it used to be, if you sat down on the floor, you expected to pay a little bit more of a price, right? Because you're premium real estate. We understood that. But other seats would be affordable. You could get a good seat for under $100. You could. I promise you could. May not be like way back in the day, but you could get a good seat for about, depending on where you sat, like the upper level right here, not up in the nosebleeds, but what we call plaza, not plaza, but floor. It'll be right up here, just above floor, excuse me. So you had the ringside floor, and then you had when you start going up to what they call, I guess, like plaza level now. But it's right here, and then you got club, and it goes on and on. But the level above floor, you could get a good seat for about, realistically, between 89, depending on where you were, like how close to the hard cam and whatnot. You might get it between 70 and about $110. It ain't like that now. Even the cheap seats are like at $100, and it just begs the question. It's outrageous because there was a video that circulated. This was this year, where, I'm not. It's not fake at all. Where there were fans. They met Randy Orton, and they informed Randy Orton of how much the tickets were, and even Randy Orton had this look like, that's crazy, and he works there. So,
And they've also stopped giving out comp tickets.
and it's out. I didn't know that.
Even to their wrestlers, they like, nope, gotta pay.
And it's
Gotta
out.
pay.
That's outrageous. I mean, TKO has got to. I get it. It's okay to make money, but you can't be greedy and just destroy the fans. That doesn't make sense.
Can we talk about something else
So
that's grinding my
go right ahead, brother Seaberry.
yeah, yo, let me speak on it. No, I'm playing. Shout out to Cody and but
Shout
man,
out.
dude, I'm not really cool with all these international PLE. And
Are we
I'm
talking about
tired.
the Saudi shows or
Well, definitely Saudi, because I mean, come on, man. Yeah. I'm gonna shut up. I ain't trying to get canceled, but let's just say Saudi has done some questionable things over the years. But
fair?
also, like WrestleMania in 2027 is gonna be in Saudi. Dude, nobody's. I mean, I guess as opposed to keeping it affordable like Vince did. Now you gon' I mean, I guess you'll probably get the moves and shakers in Saudi, so your gate will be good. But it's like, dude, like the time zone's gonna be weird, and WrestleMania is something that I enjoy watching live with friends, right? Like
Agreed.
that's kind of how it's been, and they just messed it up now. Now it's gonna be like some morning or afternoon thing, and like next year the Royal Rumble's gonna be in Riyadh. I don't. It just feels weird to me. Like I don't. I'm leery of the Big Four being international, and the Big Four is
Royal Rumble,
yeah, Royal Rumble,
WrestleMania,
WrestleMania,
SummerSlam, and
SummerSlam,
Survivor
Survivor Series.
Series.
Now I'm more open to SummerSlam being international because SummerSlams have been international since I was in high school. Freaking Wembley Stadium and all that. But like, I don't know, man. International Mania, that is weird to me. Um, International Survivor Series would probably be weird. I mean, I'll probably get over it, but like, definitely not an International Mania, man. Like, my fear is that TKO is just gonna start doing all the PLEs overseas because there's an audience that starved for it, and they can go over there and you know probably hear less belly aching like we all are here because we like, hey, we remember when it used to cost this, and everything seems to be just blatant money grabs. And also, what is more telling is now I've learned John Cena was willing to work like 200 plus dates,
Correct.
and they were like, we just need you for about 36, champ. And it's like, why would you do that? Like, this is his, you know, last roundup. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not get as much scene as you could, especially after that god awful heel turn.
The word was that they were concerned they didn't want to put too much on him. So my issue. So while I understand that part, I do think you could have met in the middle rather than 36. You could have done 100 some dates. It would kind of where everybody would have been happy. Where it's not too much of a workload if they were concerned about him breaking down or whatnot. That would have been fair. 100 some dates, everybody's kind of happy. They didn't
Yeah,
have to do 36. Like that made no sense. But a lot of stuff that they did, and you know what? And I know what people are going to say. There's such things as an armchair quarterback and an armchair booker, and that's not what I am. I'm a fan. I'm not sitting up here saying, "Oh, I can do Triple H's job." I'm not here to tell you anything like that, right? But they are making. But TKO, yes, I could probably do a better job than TKO.
yeah,
I'm not saying
definitely.
because I think if you leave Triple H alone, he cares enough about the business. If you leave him alone and just let him do it over the course of a year, he will get more right than he will wrong.
That's why I'm giving him grace.
Because I know
'Cause-
that I feel that his hands are tied.
yeah,
If I was
yeah,
gambling, I feel like his hands are tied.
100%, man. Like Nick Khan and them TKO guys, they everything. But also, I think WWE's like of their four companies that are under TKO. Of course, the boxing is fledgling, so we don't expect that to make money. PBR has recently come under ownership of TKO. It's not really making money. UFC's not quite in the black. I think the only one of their entities that is like truly profitable is WWE. And I guess they got a ride, you know. It's
They
I guess it's supposed to be the rising tide that lifts all boats, but I'm like y'all going about it in a ugly, nasty way though.
they have to do so. What I had to get over with, what I had to get over, was when it in terms of the Saudi shows. That's something that's what's the word? Part of the zeitgeist now.
Yeah.
Um, Folks, the Saudi Sports Authority is paying WWE over 50 million or $1 billion. I can't remember which one it is, but they're paying them a lot of money for content. So I'm sure somewhere within the parameters of that deal when they first did it was that hey, they want to see certain stars, but that they wanted one of the big fours. They wanted it. I'm sure that that was always going to be part of it because they're paying top dollar. So I would not begrudge the Saudi Sports Authority for wanting a major big four pay per view because if I'm giving you $50 million or whatever, yeah, I absolutely would. Because you got to think, I'm paying you over $50 million and in 12 months, you think I don't want you to come to my country once? Like you're gonna have to, yeah, I need you to be there.
Well, they're getting Royal Rumble next
Yep. When they
year. And
signed
so
this
I
new
guess
deal, I knew
in
that was
and so
gonna
I
happen.
guess in 27 they like we gotta get Mania. But also I'm a little hot about 26, like next year, because it was supposed to go back to New Orleans, but then they called the auto and was like, you know what, we're gonna run this Vegas back.
Vegas does. I mean, it should have went to New Orleans because New Orleans has been good for them too. But Vegas does very good numbers for them, and I don't know if it's a who made that call or why. I mean, Vegas is a very good market for them, so I get it. It's not like they say, hey, we're gonna cancel, and we're just gonna go to New Hampshire. I mean, they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They did pick a traditionally hot money market for them. Good to see you, KO. Yeah, we're talking about TKO right now. So it's and oh KO, since you're back, let me do it again. I'm sorry. This belt was held by none other than Miro, which is Rusev. This was his version of the TNT Championship. I love this belt. It's one of my favorite ones. So I want to make sure I did that KO so you could see it. But yes, my issue with TKO is that while you're here to make money, and because that's how any business works, it should not come before the product. And in their particular case, it does. And that kind of shows. I give Triple H I said a pass because I personally he'll never come out and say it obviously, but I feel that his hands are tied. He fights. I think he fights the good fight, but he's probably in a situation where he has to pick his battles. He has to really, really. Oh no, KO. I'm retired, man, and I couldn't get his belt up. You funny though. You didn't become the young Brock Lesnar, and now you want to beat up on the old guy. But I just I could not see a world um where if where they would leave Triple H alone and let him just do his thing. I think we'd be fine, but it's not. But I also wore this KO. I can't say what I want to say because you would get canceled. So there it is. So the topic I was going to bring up was my main man John Cena. Um, I did watch the match. I watched the whole Saturday night's main event. Um,
More like Saturday night's mid event.
and
I'm sorry.
see, you can say what you want. See, KO, look what he just did. Um, I have a. I enjoyed overall. I enjoyed it. I think those NXT stars were great. Um, I've been saying this, and I don't know who makes the decision, but I've been saying for over a year that I have no idea why Obafemi is still in NXT. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know why he won the
I,
belt back.
I don't know why in the world. So I when I saw that Ricky Saints beat him in my head, I said, okay, he's gonna be gone for a minute and he's gonna show up on the main roster. What does he do? He shows up. back on NXT. He rights the wrong, gets the championship back, and I'm like,
And
I'm
bro,
not understanding
he showed up.
why he's still there. He's like, if there's somebody that's ready, if you saw some of it, like some of that talent, they need it. They just announced that SmackDown is going back to 3 hours. So SmackDown is going back to 3 hours, and you're already. And SmackDown used to be a really good show. Um,
Yes, many moons
Oben's the
ago.
man. Yes, he is. And
Hey, yo, Alba came back extra yoked too,
if yeah, as if he wasn't big enough. Um, it's to the point now where it's obvious. It's obvious that Obafemi is. And I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way because I love NXT, but Obafemi is past that. Like it's kind of
oh,
he,
I
he's
can,
he's been past it, but
I get,
it's time.
I got a what the hell list.
It's been time for him.
As in, what the hell are you waiting for?
He should have already been there. If you really want to know the truth, now I
Over
think
Trick Williams.
Trick Williams should have been gone already. Oba definitely should be gone. I'm gonna be
Ethan
honest with you.
Page.
Ethan Page should already be gone. Um, I don't know if they haven't gotten enough people out of their ID program and gotten them in there. I love that botch they had. Listen, not for nothing. I'm gonna tell you this now. Um, One of the things, and Thea Hall is actually really good. I like Thea
Yeah,
Hall,
yeah.
but here's what's going on. If some of these people I'm naming to you weren't there, were already gone, you could focus more on people like Thea Hall so that she could get better, and you wouldn't have, like, I mean, botches happen, but you'd have more focus. The problem is you've got people there, and it's not through no fault of their own. It's not Obafemi's fault
Mm.
that he's there. He should be on the main roster. Trick Williams should be on the main roster. Ethan Page should be on the main roster. If you want to know the truth, Sol Ruka
Yeah,
should be on the
yeah,
main roster. Like, the
yeah.
women's division definitely needs it. They don't need to move to Raw and SmackDown because Triple H is going to ruin them. Now I don't know, but KO, I
Yeah, I
don't know.
don't think it's Triple
KO,
H,
I don't know.
man.
It's not. I don't think it's Triple H that's doing it. It's not necessarily him always. I get that his title is head of creative. He does a whole lot of other stuff, but I don't know. The only person that I question and that one I do put on him is I don't know. And this it may be more than just him with this too. The only one where I look at Triple H upside his head is when I say, "What the hell are you doing with LA Knight?" Like, LA
Yeah.
Knight, like when I say there's a dude that has been over for years. Like when it came to that Money in the Bank a couple of years ago, and they were in London, and that crowd was white hot. That was the time, right then, right there. That was LA Knight's time, and you didn't do it. And it just doesn't make sense. I'm not sure what it is he's trying to do with LA Knight. That one I do look at him upside his head about.
Do you
But
do you think he's being punished? Because he took a fan sign and said something
they
about
maintain that
push LA Knight.
they maintain that he faces no heat for that, because at the end of the day, he's not telling them anything again that they don't already know. They know they took him forever. I love Jey Uso. Let me be clear on that. I love Jey Uso, but I don't know that they did it right. And I know that right now, I'm not saying you can't put Jay as a singles guy and put him back in there. You can't blame Vince more. You are right about that. If you're not smart, you're not going to succeed. So here's and you know what? That's a good point. But I think that I think the Usos probably do need to be in the tag team division right now.
Man,
That's my opinion,
I
right?
think
But
Jay self-sabotaged.
well, Jay did react. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they're always hijacking and getting on you, then I get Jay's frustration. But here's the thing. There's issues that I have. I don't believe. Correct. Jay needs his own finisher. I don't think that. I think the way in which he beat Gunther is wrong. I stand on that 100%. I didn't have an issue. I really don't think. I really was like, no, no, you shouldn't beat Gunther. I mean, I know it was beneficial. Gunther took time off or whatnot, but he should. Gunther should not have tapped. Like, that should not have happened. Like that shouldn't. So what's going on right now? I think these things tie together. Gunther had to, and this is just my opinion. Unless I'm thinking, until you get that, I can't take him serious. Um, and that's a good point. My issue right now is I believe, I don't know, I haven't been in the room. I believe that that what's going on with Gunther is intentional. 100% I do.
Oh, he's the new
I think
final boss.
I think that was intentional, right? Um, I'm not a fan of Cena tapping either. I thought if you'd asked me, I was probably 90-10. There's 10% of me believed he would, but 90% of me figured that he was going to tap out.
Well,
No part of me thought that he was going to win, and it was a good match. There was no part of me that thought that John Cena was going to win, but um, I figured he would just pass out, and that would be the end of that, you know.
well,
But
I'm a traditionalist. I believe in when you leave, you go out on your back.
which he did, but I don't like the whole tap out. I mean, it's just me. The whole tap out bothers me, but I will give Gunther credit because this is probably the first time in the era of wrestling you and I come from. We saw legitimate, actual, real heat, and Gunther has legitimate, real heat for the first time in years. Like it's real heat.
Yeah,
Where when
because
he's getting security,
yeah,
walking that man to the vehicle, walking him to his bus.
yeah,
It's his when you have that. That's real heat. I didn't like the
yeah,
smiling. Yep, I thought that was weird too,
yeah.
man.
I didn't like seeing it smirking.
I didn't like it either. Um, but he has got heat because when I say he went over the top Monday, he
Yeah,
already went too far at Saturday night's main event. If you saw that viral clip of him talking to that 10-year-old kid that was dressed in the Cena gear and was
yeah, yeah,
talking to him, and the kid was crying, and Gunther was eating it up, and like just, and then he came out. I didn't think in a meet when he made a point to come back 3 times. He left the ring. No, he came back 2 more times just to tell you he made John Cena tap out. His words, not mine, like a little bitch. He did that.
you know,
So I think like you said, him becoming like the final boss, I really suspect that Gunther, he's not done. He's gonna retire
Brock at least.
someone else, either Brock or AJ Styles. He's gonna retire one more person on that list. Like I think that's gonna be kind of his thing now. You're gonna see it. So my issue was how it happened. I have no issue that he beat him. I mean, I fully expected
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Um, but they need to with this main roster thing. You can't punish people like, and I'm using Thea Hale because it just happened, but you can't punish Thea Hale or others and not let them get that time they need because you have these bona fide stars that should not be there.
exactly.
SmackDown, if there was a time last year, earlier, where SmackDown was the hottest show. They were hot.
Yes, yes.
They were hot. They were, and I know that Raw is the flagship show. And Netflix paid a whole lot of money for it, so I get they're gonna put focus there. But even without that, SmackDown was actually a good show. Was beating Raw. It was a better show. But for some strange reason,
I'm gonna be honest.
they make mind-boggling decisions that don't make sense. You take LA Knight off of SmackDown, you put him on Raw, and you're still not pushing him. What the hell was the purpose of that? And there's another person, and this right here, when I say it doesn't make sense because it's a no-win situation, and I love the guy personally. I think if you're asking me, he's actually one of the best heels in wrestling. But you've got to take Drew away from Cody. You have to,
Yeah,
because
that's
this
getting
is like
stale.
this is like the 10th time he's wrestling, and no one believes that he's gonna win that belt off of Cody. I don't believe it either, because I'll be honest with you. The only time I thought it would have happened, if it didn't happen off this last time they wrestled, was that the what was that they wrestled? Was that a main event? When they just wrestled, because I'm talking about, KO, you probably saw it, but they just wrestled not that long ago. And it was a paper. It was either it was a Saturday night's main event or a pay-per-view, one of the two, when they wrestled. But it was a no disqualification match. If Cody got disqualified, he loses the title. I can't remember where it was, but that just happened. And he did not beat him. And I thought he was gonna lose. I thought Cody was gonna lose there. And he didn't. So At this point, now I'm it's impossible for me to believe that Drew is going to win this next match. It's I don't believe he's going to win. I don't. I really don't think he's going to beat
Yeah,
him.
the man,
Um,
man, the Cena Drew McIntyre feud is like some 6 day old leftover. You can only reheat that whole so many times, cuz
and it's time to it's time to
it's time to go
separate
throw
them.
all that in the trash can,
You got to separate them
bro.
because it's 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 time to move from them because you're not going to do it. Um, I did suspect that he was going to get involved in Saturday night's main event because when I saw that Obo was wrestling Cody, I said, sometimes you make matches you shouldn't. You're gonna book
Yeah,
it.
cause
You're
it's
gonna book yourself in a corner because neither one of them needs to lose.
yep.
So putting them there, I was like, so as soon as I just put two and two together and I call it, a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I didn't need Steiner math to know that it would be a no-win situation for Oba or Cody,
Yep.
right? So I said, Drew. Now I figured Drew would have done something. I figured he would have done something a little bit more underhanded. He just basically ran in there and got the DQ. But I figured he would have been dressed. He'd have been under the ring. He'd have been dressed as a cameraman. He'd have jumped out the crowd and hit him with. He'd have done something. He just did a basic run in, and I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
understand. I said, I'm not. I don't get that one. Like y'all couldn't hide him or do something. We talking about the same dude that this is the same Drew McIntyre that if you go back now, I guess that's 2 years ago, had the feud of the year with CM Punk, Pro Wrestling Illustrated feud of the year. Like and all of a sudden you telling me that and as creative as that was, you couldn't figure out anything more creative than he just run out there and he jumped the barricade to do it. Like, no, it doesn't make sense. There's so many things now. Like I personally think the masked man thing could have went on a little longer. I think they cut that off
Oh
too
yeah,
soon
definitely.
because the idea that it could be different people under there, and then it's. I think they did that too soon. Now Theory is talented. Now,
Yeah.
what they're gonna do with him, I don't know. I think if you put him in the group to eat pins, that's stupid. That undermines the whole purpose of it whatsoever. Because you're not pushing. Okay, so you've taken LA Knight off, and if any time that you should be using LA Knight should probably be now, because we know in 26 Seth Rollins is going to come back, and when Seth comes back, he's going to be after the division. That's going to be his first order of business. I know him and Punk are not finished, but his first order of business is going to be taking care of the vision. And you've taken LA Knight off for who knows how long, and yet you've got SmackDown that needs talent. It's going to expand another hour, and you telling me that at the Saturday Night Main Event, Sol Ruka was very hot and over. Obviously, Over was over. Obviously, Trick Williams though. You brought up Lash Legend. You brought up the man's fiance, but you didn't bring him up. And if you want to know the absolute truth, I love Lash Legend. And when I say that, hey Trick, if you watching, let's see what to say. He need to grow his hair back out. That's funny. That's funny. Um, I personally, I like Lash Legend in more ways than one. But in any case, if I'm being serious for a minute, man, there's another Lance Storm reference. But if I can be serious for a minute, uh, as much as I like Lash Legend, she is not. She. I mean, she's main. I think she's ready for the main roster. I'm not saying that, but she's not as main roster ready as Trick Williams is.
Not at
So it
all.
doesn't make sense that Trick Williams isn't on the main roster. You got all this talent, which is inadvertently not their fault,
And did you
but
see the way
inadvertently
he
holding down people like Thea Hale. You're holding them down because you. What are you going to do? Trick and Lash could be a great mixed tag team.
and
Yeah,
did you see the way he ate that pin at the last big NXT event? So I'm like, you got
it's
him eating pins to a cat that wasn't beating nobody. So I'm like, what are we doing now?
I and I don't know that if you and I like Ricky Saints, right? I do, but if you were going the way that it was going kind of made sense. So what I thought was going to happen was when he won the North American title, because he hadn't had the North American title that long, to be honest with you, he hadn't had it that long. So it wasn't time to take. It wasn't time for him to go automatically to the NXT Championship. If anything, you would have had him win that, and you move Ethan Page up, and get him up out of
Yeah.
there. Move him to the main roster, and he ain't he is just gonna have a best of 7 match with a loser with a luchador. No, you didn't.
Are
I
they
don't know.
saying he like new generation Booker T or something?
Are you talking about? Wait a minute. Who are we talking about? KO? Are you talking about Trick would do that, or who are we talking about? Are you talking about Ricky Saints? But the natural progression of things was kind of the plan was in front of them, and if they would just move, it's not like they could move these people. Like they can go ahead and move Soul. They can go ahead and move Trick Williams. They can go ahead and move
Yeah,
over
because
and move up.
NXT got a stacked ass roster,
They have
man.
the best women's roster probably in wrestling. So I don't make sense. Exactly what he did to call me. You know what? Hey, you saying something. You saying something there. You right. When you right, KO, I'm with you. What like with so as much as I gripe about what happens to LA Knight, what's going on with Carmelo doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, that's kind of criminal
Um,
too, man.
that doesn't make sense
I
either.
like the whole
And I like Carmelo, but
I like the whole apprentice to the Miz angle.
yeah,
I'm not sure I liked how it ended, but
I mean Carmelo is him. Like they did can't type. Yeah, you know, say exactly what. Yeah, they haven't they and sometimes I wonder if to a certain degree, and obviously Triple H is head of creative, but there are two teams, and I wonder if he's letting one team do something because there was a change. Because for a long time, we're talking about like about 6 months, SmackDown was rolling and going in the right direction, and then the wheels fell off, right?
I think it was their first move to like 3 hours.
And now they're going back to 3 hours. But my problem with them, I don't have an issue with them being 3 hours if you book it better and you got the talent. That's the issue.
But I can't
So
have a
3 hours is not going to help you
but
if you don't book right. It's
but
not
I
going to help.
can't have a 3 hour Raw because 3 hour Raw was too much damn talking. If you gonna do 3 hour SmackDown, I need some scrapping.
So
I need some grappling.
they just got to put the talent. They just have to put the talent there. Um,
So Rhea's on SmackDown now, right?
you know what? And that's another thing. They want to hold the brand split, and I'm like, just make a decision on whether that's what you want to do or you don't want to do. Make a decision and stick with it. I'm begging them to do that. That like if you got a brand split, stick to it. Now, right now, everybody is saying what I'm hearing. What that apprentice ain't gonna happen too many times. Say hello, Alex. Oh yeah, Alex Riley. Yes, sir. I remember that.
Man, I was an Alex Riley guy, man.
So
it just went left.
my issue now is going to 3 hours isn't going to fix it if you don't book properly. And then also another issue I have with them, if you if you can't book, the 3 hours doesn't work to begin with. That's first. And it's clear right now that there's some kind of a problem. They need more talent on the roster. There's no doubt about that. So
But here's another big
you've
overall.
got to bring people in, and they got to figure out whatever that mojo, whatever they had months ago, they got to figure it back out.
Also, there's like an imaginary clock because, like, okay, Cena's gone from extra competition, gonna be in. He signed a 5 year contract to be an ambassador, but Orton's winding up.
Yeah.
AJ Styles said next year his last year.
Mhm.
Shinsuke Nakamura is hinting that next year might be his last year. Also, next year might be Brock Lesnar's last year.
Mhm.
Like all of your old guard is
Getting ready to wind down and retire. And
yeah.
you need
They're calling it
replacements.
a day. So like you gotta
You're gonna have roster spots available, but
this
gotta let
year
'em-
they really gotta build some people. Well, next year. 2026, they really gotta build some people up.
they got to build the people in NXT because they need to let some of these NXT people head on over. I mean, what's wild is um, it's certain people. It's the mismanaging of talent that bothers me the most because I'll give you a prime example. Uh, I love me some Chelsea Green. I love what she does, but at the same time, they mismanaged and screwed up Julia 100%.
Oh, that was terrible.
They screwed up Julia like 100%, and that's so messed up that while I love Chelsea Green, and I like what she's doing, it
But I
So
gotta be
you
honest
you
though,
had to
man.
bring her. So because they did so bad, the right thing. Now, don't get me wrong. As much as I love Julia, the right thing now is Chelsea Green having it because you ruined Julia's run and made it unforgettable and made it completely forgettable, right?
Yeah,
And
that was terrible.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you what goes on now. Um, I'm not saying that they're completely. They're not screwing it. They're not screwing it up, but it's not as bad. I'll say this. It's not in the same vein as Julia, but they got to watch what they're doing because they got Stephanie Vaquero, who is very over, and they're starting to mess up her run too.
Man,
Because when I heard, like, when I was listening, I was like, this must just be an act, right? Nikki Bella, you got your ass whooped. You don't get a rematch for what?
dude, that annoyed me so
You
bad.
should
I
have
was
never
like,
even had the match to begin with, and that's no disrespect to Nikki Bella, but you should have never been. You should have never had a title match to begin with, and then on top of that, now you're talking about a rematch for what? It wasn't.
man,
That match wasn't competitive. It wasn't close. You got your ass whooped as you should, and
dude,
so why would if I'm Stephanie, why would I wrestle you again? For what?
dude, if I was Stephanie Vaquer, I would be like old girl in Mean Girls. You can't sit with us. And
Right.
and there goes a Nikki Bella, like
It's just
Nikki, go on get you a legend contract and take
just
your ass back to the house. Like,
just
cause
move.
I figured, okay, I was like, okay, I figured Stephanie gonna beat her handily. But I was like, hey,
She beat her in 4 minutes.
yeah, but I was
Like
like,
and some
hey,
change.
so she has beating a legend, cross it up, or like beating a vet under her belt, right? But Nikki's still around.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean,
Like,
she should, in theory, be because you got. I'll get now as it's a testament to how good Liv Morgan is that because if you saw them plant that seed, anyone with any brains in the world saw the reaction when she was backstage and introduced herself to Stephanie Vaquer. Everybody saw that. That's what you're supposed to be building to. You should be building to Stephanie and Liv. That's where you should be going right
yeah,
now.
that's where the money's at.
That's where you should be going. But for whatever, and I'm not saying they've teased that like they met and now they haven't talked about it. But you've got and it's not. I mean, you got Raquel. Great. She already beat Raquel once, right? And now she just wrestling Nikki obviously interfered in that match, but I was like, there was really no reason for a second match. She already beat her. So you got that. I mean,
And
it doesn't make logical sense. So I don't know if this what I suspect is they're trying to eventually break up the Judgment Day by having Liv say, "Hey, we're gonna go after the tag team titles." I get it, but and that's where the slow burn is, and it's going to end up being a whole brouhaha and break things up. Again, another example
but
of
also
when I
real
say they
life
can't.
is messing things up because I hear that Raquel is under concussion protocols
Now because
after
of what just happened, but she
yeah,
doesn't. She may not have a concussion. It's just you got that grapefruit. I
yeah,
get it. They're going to check you and
yeah.
make certain. But I will give you another example. Uh, I don't think they necessarily. My gut feeling says they don't know what to do with because with Dom either. Dom just beat John Cena, got his belt back, and he ain't wrestled since. You ain't seen him. And I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, because
It's
he's like barely defending the AAA Campeon belt either.
correct, and it's like Dom was red hot at one point, and it's like when he won that title, man, he was so over. I'm not saying turn him, leave him where he is, like, but it was, but you could tell, like,
But I
okay,
think the crowd was ready for Dom to be a face.
and you know what though,
And I feel like they let that window pass.
they did, and my thing is, you don't you don't have to necessarily turn Dom face. You could let him still be a heel, but they wanted more Dominic Mysterio because he can cheat and be heel and they still like him. You can see it. It's sometimes they boo him, but they do secretly. He's like the love to hate thing. They clearly love some Dominic Mysterio, but it's like there's I don't know if they know where they're going, like if they know where they really want to go. Like they're trying to tell these stories, and I know they're trying to go, like link certain things together. and pay off other things, and it's too much where it's too mucky. It doesn't make sense. So they're trying to figure this out. The greatest Mysterio, yes, he is. Um, but I don't know. It's like as much as I want to, and I do want to give Triple H that that pass and that break. I don't necessarily know to a certain degree. I'm like, what exactly? What exactly is Triple H doing? Like I sometimes I wonder if someone else is telling them because I was like, you had L.A. Knight, who Stevie Wonder could tell you was red hot. Stevie Wonder could see how hot L.A. Knight was.
Yeah.
Like just like there was this time where it's like, hey, that Money in the Bank, that was it. That was it. You over when he was in another country and they wanted that man to win. Like it was LA Knight, and it was the greatest tease ever because I thought he was gonna win and he didn't. And I said, so so you got LA Knight, who you're not doing anything with. What I suspect is gonna happen, because we have this January 5th event, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you all this right now. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my crow and I'll say it. I do not believe that Braun Breaker is going to beat CM Punk. I do not believe it. He was better when he was on Stagger 2. I do not believe. I do not believe he is. If you want to know what I think is going to happen, I believe that Seth Rollins will show up. He may be masked. He may do something, but that match is going to get interfered with. 100%. I don't see that match happening cleanly. I believe Seth Rollins returns and costs Braun Breaker the title. That's my opinion.
What's the big event on January 5th?
That's the year celebration of Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And their main event is Braun Breaker going for the heavyweight title. And I like Braun. But I don't think I don't see it. I don't. I really don't. Not yet. So I think Seth is going to interfere in that match. That's just my opinion to you. And it's weird. So now, even though they haven't officially said Austin is in the Vision, he I guess is affiliated in some way,
Vision
shape.
adjacent.
Yeah, he's Vision adjacent. That sounds about right.
I am glad he's back.
I am too, but they need to do something with. They need to do something with Austin Theory.
But I've
you're right.
heard that there's pushback on him because he was a Vince guy.
But now I get it. Yeah, he was. But you can see the man has talent like that. That's never mind whether it's Vince McMahon or not. That's another one where you can clearly see he has talent. You can do something with him. So I don't necessarily know why they haven't done that. It's mind-boggling with some of the decisions that they make. They had an opportunity when the crowd wanted to see him go face when him and Grayson Waller were going to break up. They didn't pull the trigger. They teased it and teased it and teased it until they just split them up. But they never had the breakup that everybody wanted to see and them have a match. That never happened.
I guess because Theory got hurt. Or
he went over and won a title in the Evolve. I don't necessarily know that he was hurt or he wasn't, but you can just tell that they should have a long time ago pulled the trigger on that turn and they didn't do it. So it's like I said, some of the decisions don't make sense. There was clearly a time when the crowd was in his corner for him to do it. Because Grayson Waller, the thing is, Austin Theory could probably pull off a face, whereas Grayson Waller can't. Grayson Waller's a heel. Like I don't see him, and I love Grayson Waller, but he's a heel, right? So if one of them's gonna be a face, it's gonna be Austin Theory. But they didn't do that. And so now you've got him Vision adjacent, as you say, and you don't really know what the direction is with him. I can tell you that there's certain people, like Ric Flair is quoted as saying this, and it is true. What is it? The decision for New Day to turn on Big E. I'm gonna be honest with you, KO. I don't like how it was done either. I don't, but I will tell you this. I actually do like the New Day as heels. I actually do.
Me too.
I think the New Day are good. I think they're good as heels. I don't necessarily think they had to do it the way they did it with Big E, but I like them as heels. The music, everything fits. They have just they have settled into
Then the
that
whole
role.
thank God for the
New
new
Day.
day.
I mean, and Xavier got jacked. I don't know if you noticed he got swollen and
Yeah,
jacked.
yeah,
Like they the new I'm here's another thing, right? I'm like, yeah, and it's weird the decisions they make. Like I like AJ Styles and I like Dragon Lee, and they actually are good together. But you don't you don't bring the War Raiders back to beat them. You don't do that. You just it doesn't make sense. That made no sense whatsoever. What did you bring them back for? They hadn't been there in months because you had somebody who's injured. Here's their big return, and they lose. And I'm like, you could have gave that to somebody else. It didn't make sense to bring them back and they lose. Like
yeah.
no, like that didn't make sense. They definitely great as heels, but they could have had Big E as the. You know what? Yes, KO, and no because Big E is can do either. But Big E with what he's been doing on shows, Big E is beloved right now. People love Big E. I couldn't see him as their manager because he doesn't align with the heel. He doesn't align with it. Not that Grayson Waller does either. I mean, he's just out there, but but Big E, he the power of positivity, and he doesn't fit like with what the new no shirt wearing New Day Big E doesn't like. No, he's a good guy. He doesn't fit, and I don't think you're gonna try to turn him. It doesn't he. Because even when they were heels and he was in the group, Big E really wasn't a heel. Like he was, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Like he just, he it just
Because he was
felt weird.
still goofy as a
But
heel.
okay, right. You know what? Don Callis does do it well, but Don Callis has been a heel traditionally for 99% of the time that he's been in the business.
Yeah.
Don Callis is a certified slimy, no goods, you can't trust my ass heel. That so Don Callis does it fantastically. That's true. But he can broadcast, but he's always been a heel, so it's hard to see him um go any other way, right? He could have done the Don Callis and sit on the booth. Yeah, yeah. But do you want to see? But do you really want to see Big E that way? After what he went through, with like having to now, we know he won't wrestle again, and I guess there's a way to do it, but sometimes with turning these guys, it's Vince Russo gets heat for it. It's called a swerve for the sake of a swerve. And I feel like if you turn Big E, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. you you don't really there. I don't see a reason. I don't see a reason to do it because it's not like he would. I can't see him doing anything more for the New Day than where they are right now. Like they can function just fine as assholes without him. So I don't see him enhancing them. But to your point, I mean, great. Like I said, Grayson Waller is not enhancing them either. So I think it's a matter of time before they whoop his ass. But I'm begging for them to do something with him. I can hear it now. We want you to be sour, stand up, and appreciate the best tag team. That's funny. That's funny. To me, hey, you may be old to something. I don't see that happening. I don't. I don't see them. I also don't. I mean, I'm sure Big E is good enough not to get hurt, but being is that he can't wrestle anymore, I don't know if there's a situation where they're trying to protect him from himself or whatnot and keep him away. Could be what it is. So I don't know. You see, you got the problem is they've got all this talent to this point, and they don't seem to know. Devoid
It's
of a couple of individuals, they don't really seem to know what direction they want to
it's
take
been a
people
lot
in.
of mismanagement and bad booking. I was talking to a friend of mine, Cowboy Archie. He's a fellow wrestling fan, and his hope was they were kind of treading water until Cena quit or Cena retired. And his hope there was like now we can start to formulate some clear plans. And you know maybe that's him kind of clinging to the sunny side of life.
See, the person that took his spot was Cody Rhodes. We knew that. That's QB1. That's the person that took the place. But it's if I had to say, is there a consistent full time heel that is believable that they have every single week? If they could, but they don't pull the trigger. Because the best, and it sounds so bad to say, but if I'm being honest about it, the most entertaining true heel they have on Monday Night Raw is Becky Lynch. Without
Man,
question,
oh my
she is.
God, she is so
Becky
good.
Lynch is killing it. Like,
And then
and
what she been
for
doing on social media after she lost the belt?
and for everything that people said, Becky elevated that title. It's a fact,
Oh,
right?
that title was flounder. I mean, God bless Lyra Valkyria, but I said,
And Lyra's great,
yeah, but
but
I said,
Becky was great for her. That
yeah,
like it did
but
great.
I said on my, like I said, the podcast that me and Kelbo Archie used to have, I was like, God bless Lyra Valkyria.
She's
I
great.
see that she can wrestle, but I did not care about her. I did not care until Becky came in.
You needed right. She's better fighting underneath. You needed somebody like Becky. And I'm happy for Maxine with what they're doing. The fact that they won't let Natalia be her GCW Natalia on there is crazy to me.
Man,
That doesn't make any sense that they won't allow her to do that. But they allow her to train Maxine that way and have it. I mean, they mentioned it, but it's weird. It's like it's like I mean, like when I saw like 2 weeks ago, and I like Ivy now too. I was like, the hell's Ivy now been? Like, where's I was like, where the hell's Ivy now been? Like
good
she showed
question.
up, and I was like, she just out of nowhere. To quote my great friend Simon Miller from What Culture, Geese title shot. Like he said, it's that's what happens. They just show up, Geese title shot. That's what Nikki did, Geese title shot. And then she said, "You're not done with me." And I was like, as
I'm like,
as
why
close
isn't
as
she?
as close. I mean, Stephanie Vicker did to say this, but her face was kind of like, "Bitch, why not?"
I know, like, bitch,
Like,
who, like,
like I'm done with you. Like I just beat you in 4 minutes. Like, and it wasn't like a rush 4 minutes. Like we struggled. No, I whooped I almost squashed you. So why in the world am I wrestling? Am I wrestling you again?
so let me ask you this. Do you think the language barrier is hurting Stephanie?
Her, I don't think so because her English has gotten better each time. She is still cutting promos in both. It has gotten better. Um, the problem is, I think it's a credible lack. So it's a lack of credible opponents. She's got them, but they're not booking it that way, right? So she's got to wrestle more people, right? So they're holding Liv off for whatever reason. Because initially, I believe that Liv, what the plan was Liv was going to be in the Royal Rumble and not be here back early. That's what I think the plan was, and that did, for whatever reason, that did not come to pass. But there's there's talent there. Believe it or not, Kiana James can actually wrestle a little bit. She can do more than carry a brick in a purse. So I don't know why they don't let her wrestle. Doesn't make sense. You got Julia, who has went into the Phantom Zone somewhere, who would definitely tear the house down with
Well, now
Stephanie
you know she
Booker.
did pop back up, cause the other the Secret Harvest lady had a
Uh,
match with Jade Cargill.
Boy, they wasting Kaylee Ray
Yeah,
and Piper Niven.
and Chelsea Green was outside the ring, and then Julia and Kiana James showed up, and Julia beat up and chased her to the back.
Julia could tear the house down with Stephanie Booker.
Yeah.
Could tear the house down, but it's as I said, I don't know what sometimes with some of the decisions that get made. I just like the tag team division there on Raw. That's another issue because you got the War Raiders. They should just go back to War Machine, but you got the War Raiders. I like AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. You got the Usos, the New Day. I'm trying to think. Is there another tag team I'm missing? I don't know. I mean, they could use more tag teams probably, but they
You know who I'm hoping can get a moment in the sun, and this is just me fanning out over him from his glory days in NXT.
mhm,
Man, I'm rooting for Tommaso Ciampa, man.
would be nice. They had him and Gargano had the feud of the year those years back.
But now, like, dude, I'm gonna tell you what I hated though. It's like he's finally coming out to knowing what survive. But they like remixed it or something because he's on the main roster. I was like, why? It was perfect.
Yeah, they some of the decisions and SmackDown's tag team division should really be cooking. I mean, they have
They got the Motor City Machine Guns crying out loud. Wow, I thought that would be better than it would. I was like, oh, what's up now? Y'all got MCMG. Those those are basically like the OGs to like modern day tag team style. I
uh,
thought it was up and stuck, you know what I'm saying? But it was like they had a quick little run and it was just like
the
downhill.
so un- excuse me, unpopular opinion, probably an unpopular opinion, but it's the truth. There are certain teams, certain individuals where, much like Andre the Giant, you don't need a belt. I'm gonna tell you who doesn't need one. The Wide Six do not need the tag team championship.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They don't. They're over without it. They don't need a championship. The
I
reason
agree.
the reason that you have all this turmoil is because realistically, SmackDown by now, you know what I should have seen? I should have seen the Motor City Machine Guns in a one-on-one fashion with like the Street Profits, and I haven't seen it. Now, they don't get me wrong; the multi-tag matches are crazy and are really good. They put that together, but I'm not seeing it, and it doesn't make sense. So yeah, um, the MFT should probably have it. Probably the MFT should probably have it. And big ups to Solo Sikoa, man. Ryan just coming out of his shell, and he is
He is
he's
hilarious.
so funny. He really is, man. He really is. But I they just got and it's not like SmackDown's they've got some talent. For God's sakes, Jacob Fatu is about to come back. And what are you gonna do with him? It's like I don't know. Like he comes back, and I'm like, and so it's a matter of talent, and it's a matter of direction, right? If the talent has no direction, it doesn't really matter how good they are.
Lamborghinis with no engine.
And Jacob Fatu is special,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Absolutely special. Over with the crowd, 100%. Can work either way, heel or face, either way. Probably best as a tweener, but yet they don't know what to do now. Um, I think you need another heel besides Drew because you're screwing Drew. And that's excuse me, and that's frustrating to me as a Drew McIntyre fan. I'm sick of them screwing Drew McIntyre. I'm really tired of it. Like it's to the point now. He didn't wrestle. He didn't wrestle like CM Punk's champion now, so it would make sense that he would wrestle Punk. You would think he would wrestle Punk for the title, but yet, and because that feud was white hot, and we weren't tired of it. It was great, but we're tired of the Cody feud.
Yeah.
So, but him and Punk could make something happen, but I mean, what are you gonna do? So maybe to KO's point, I don't know, KO, whether Triple H's hands are tied or who's got their hands in the Kool Aid and interfering, but something is not right, and it's not the talent.
Yeah, I'm
I
what
like,
you're
at some point you could say it's talent, but they have more talent now than they probably ever have. They
saying.
got plenty of talent, and yet they, excuse me, don't know what to do with it. Because right now, uh, just as and look, you got to get paid, so kudos to him for signing the contract. But every time I look around, it's kind of obvious that say his name and He appears. Everybody believes in Joe Hendry, and yet they're not doing anything with him either.
I'm trying to give a grace because he just officially solely became, I guess, a WWE guy. And I mean,
Everything about that man says that man would be over. Everything about he actually, as good as he is, I would have liked to have seen him. I was wondering if he would have went to AEW. KO, I said it, but um, in my head, part of me just said, if you botched LA Knight, I think you're gonna botch Joe Hendry. But Joe Hendry is all the way over because when he was with just TNA, he was the hottest thing in NXT. And I'm like,
yeah,
why are y'all not capitalizing? I mean, even Saturday night's main event, that crowd was a really good crowd. But if you noticed, because I had the mid segment and I didn't know that's where they were gonna go with it.
you
But
know,
as soon as he said Joe Hendry, that crowd went nuts. And he just like he always does appears out of the Phantom Zone. And I'm like, Joe Hendry, he's cat if you think about what WWE looks for, he's catchy. He's good on the mic. He's got a catchy theme song because he loves good theme songs. He's got his own catchy theme song. It's his song. He's got a catchy theme song. He's got a look. He's got a gimmick that works, and they doing nothing with him. And it doesn't make and I'm just like, there is such a thing as too much talent. Now maybe they got too much. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they have too much talent, and that's why creatively they're in a rut and people are stuck and they don't know what the hell to do. That could very well be what it is. I don't know that, but that's my gut feeling.
but I still feel like they under the gun, whether they realize it or not. Because once again, it looks to be a mass exodus of talent, like mainstays, old guard in 2026, and
I'm not.
if you
Yeah,
don't figure it out, it's gonna be like new generation up in here.
the talent is in front of them. They have to use it. The talent is 110% in front of them. You can see it, and it's almost like it'd be different if it was a situation where they say, "Well, I don't know where to go. I ain't got nothing." All you got to do is look and just go. You just pick one. You got. I just told you. You got L.A. Knight. You got Jacob Fatu coming back. You got Joe Hendry. There is talent in front of you
Yeah,
to make the next main event star is right there in front of you. It's right in front of you. Any of those people I just named to you, they could easily. And I'm not talking about mid. I'm talking about could be WWE champion. Any of those three men I just told you. Any of them. And they don't and they don't put them in meaningful feuds.
but
They feel like they're lost in the sauce, and I
but
feel
see, I
for them.
think a lot of that is pressure from KO too, man, and probably low key pressure from the Saudis to like, okay, these are our guys we've earmarked to be champions. Now, uh, Jay Uso was able to push through, but then I felt like he kind of shot his own self in the foot because he wasn't in shape. And even he said in interviews he didn't work as hard as he should. And then it seemed like he was inebriated in the interview after seeing his match at Saturday Night's main event. So I was like, I posted that in one of my favorite groups. I was like, going back to the tag team division, Jay. It's like that main event just don't suit you well. Just going back to tagging. But he was the only one to really break through the noise because I guess just the crowd and the following and the merch sales were undeniable.
Correct.
Yeah.
He can still be over as in a tag team. He absolutely can. But it's and I agree. I think you gotta when I say cool him down, you gotta get him in the tag division, keep him over here. You do because you got a main event scene that is going to be probably as unclear as it ever will be when Seth Rollins returns. Because you
Yeah.
got he'll go after the division, but as long as Seth Rollins is around, Braun Breaker will not be champion. Seth will see to it that Braun Breaker is not champion, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right? Like you ruined my career. I'm gonna make certain that you don't become champion.
But also I feel like we still need a definitive CM Punk Seth Rollins match at some point, right?
I mean, yeah, but he's gonna have to deal with the vision because it's clear that they're gonna interfere regardless. and now you got them, and they've gotten their ranks are even more with Austin Theory. Um, I don't think Seth comes back as a face. I think he's a tweener. If anything, he's probably still a heel. Um, it's so you're going to have to figure out directions for that to go. They got a lot that they have to figure out, and not a lot of time to do it. But the answers are sitting there in their face. It's not like they got to go search and say, "Hey, what do we have in NXT?" That like it's there. You got ready made stuff in there, and all you got to do is do it. I mean, you've seen Ethan Page. Ethan Page is ready. He's been ready. He's like certain people. I think I'll be honest with you. I don't. I mean, I get that he did, but I don't really think Ethan Page even really needed to go to NXT. I get that he did it, but I don't think he really needed to. Um, this man has already been in front of huge crowds. He was already, he's already a pretty much polished product. But
But you know what? I'm leaning in terms of people going to NXT first, if for no other reason than the WWE ring is bigger.
yeah, I mean,
There is a WWE way
they have a style.
of doing it. So I'm like, if you want to take 3 to 6 months to get a little season and get acclimated to that. Honestly, this may be an unpopular opinion. I wish Jade ass had been in NXT for like a year. 'Cause I'm just like, baby girl, you like
Oh, Jade, yeah.
she has like she looks good. She's a she's a freaking penthouse with no plumbing.
But she doesn't
Cause
have.
cause cause, cause like
She has the same problem right now that that was really starting to happen to Tiffany. And it's like the problem that they have, and they won't call them up, or they won't use them. They haven't given them credible opponents, like put them up there. That's the problem.
but I feel
So
like Tiff's a better.
you're only gonna wrestle like, and that's nothing against Michi because she can wrestle. If they push her, she can actually wrestle really good. But they don't give them credible people, so the reign doesn't look as good, right? But the problem also is, and this is a good and a bad thing.
But I think
Some
Tiff's a
people
better in
need
ring
a belt.
performer though.
She is by far. Some do. Some need the belt, and some do not. Right?
Yeah.
Um, because the man makes the title, not the other way around. Right? But if the title makes you, then that's just who you are. But the only I gave so you got when you took Charlotte and Alexa and made them tag team, that hurt because you took them out of solo, out of singles competition. You got two people that don't really like. Charlotte doesn't need a belt. She's old. She doesn't need a belt. Like she doesn't. Becky Lynch makes the title. Charlotte can make a title. Like they can make a title. You don't need them. Um, but you got them tied up doing other stuff. So who does
But that was
Tiffany?
such a backlash
So who does
on
Tiffany?
Charlotte being in the title picture. Like I kind of get it,
I kind of get it too.
but I'm like, at some point we gotta ease her kind of back into singles, man.
You gotta have somebody. You gotta have somebody for these people to wrestle. And Jade's a heel, so and in my head, you just got a glimpse of a baby face that you could put on your SmackDown roster and start building up, and the name is Sol Ruka.
Yeah.
But you didn't do that. So you've got you don't have anybody, and through no fault of Jade's, for that title been run to be credible, she's got to beat credible people, right? And sure, I think NXT would have helped her. She definitely could have used some more some more time in the ring down there. But she's still got to have credible people to wrestle. And right now, no disrespect to B-Fab, I love me some B-Fab. Her beating up B-Fab and Michigan doesn't.
Yeah,
It's
that ain't
it's
it,
not.
Chief.
That's not it. That's not gonna help her, right? She needs. If you had done what you're supposed to do with Julia, you would have had Julia. But they won't do it, and it doesn't. Like I said, they have the talent. They don't know what to do with it, and that's the sad part is that you don't know what to do with it. Ain't no way in hell Jordan Gray should even still be in NXT. That makes no sense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She should have already been up. There's Jade's babyface opponent if you wanted that could tear the house down with her. But again, it's like the stuff they do. It's mind boggling. They have the talent in NXT. They have a lot that needs to be gone. Really and truthfully, you probably don't even believe this. It's so weird. It feels like Thea Hale has been in NXT forever because she has, but it's weird. And it's like you guys got to give you guys by now. Thea, if you want to know the truth, by now Thea should be where Soul is. Soul came after her, and she's already ahead of her. So it's she should be where Soul is. Thea has a good look. She can clearly wrestle. The crowd likes her. She's got a good gimmick. Like it's there. Um,
You know who I've kind of fallen in love with from like a in-ring performance point of view?
who's that?
The Evolve Women's Champion.
Uh, I know her name. I know you're talking about.
That little lady,
Yeah,
she like a little, she like a little baby Kurt Angle, man.
they could be. Man, they really could do more with Ivan Nile, who can go. They just started investing time in Maxine, which thank you for finally doing that because you rely on Becky to and like it's Becky can't do it all the time for you.
Kendall Gray, that's the Evolve Women's Champion.
You gotta have some. You gotta get some more talent on the roster to do it. Now I get it. You gotta have credible tag teams. So if you're gonna take Charlotte and Alexa and Lash and Nia and all these folks and throw them in there, you gotta have some singles people to be out there. That's the problem, right?
Yeah,
Because whoever Becky is going to wrestle, Becky is going to elevate that and
yeah.
take care of it. But you need somebody else that can do it. I don't know what Bailey's contract is, but my part of me feels like she's there, but part of me feels like she's treading water. Because
Man,
if she, I'm telling this, I tell people this now. I know what she just did was great with the wrestling school and all of that.
Carly
I'm telling,
Lodestone.
but I'm telling you now. I don't. I'd have to Google it and see
You know
if
Mercedes in her
if
ear.
yes, if her contract is up. If her contract is up soon, I don't see her resign. I know Mercedes is going to tell her, "Hey, come down here, come down here. Look what we're doing. Come down here with us. Come."
Dude, can you blame her? They don't respect her. They don't put respect on Bailey's name. Like nobody else lost to the NXT talent but her, and I was just like, and I mean, yeah, I kind of get it because it's Soul and Soul's ready, but then also Bailey didn't have a WrestleMania opponent. She wasn't in Survivor Series. I'm like,
What
y'all just
they take chances on
disrespecting her.
certain things. Okay, so what they were hoping for was they were hoping to catch lightning in a bottle again, like they did with Naomi, who went away and got better, and they said, well, we can do this again with Jade. No, 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 no. You can't. Jade, so you got to understand. Naomi can't. Naomi, they found out is good on the mic and found out she's a very interesting character. She's really good, and she can wrestle.
Yeah,
So she's gonna work. Jade's not. I love Jade. No disrespect to Jade,
same.
but Jade's not Naomi. She's not. She doesn't have the between the ropes to go like she. I'm not saying she can't wrestle. I'm not saying that now, but she's not where Naomi is. That's kind of clear, and I don't necessarily know. And she's getting better on the mic, but she's not where Naomi is. Naomi is completely entertaining because Naomi is unhinged and it works. What
Bro.
really hurts them right now, and I know they were biding their time, was Bianca getting hurt. I know that's what they're waiting on. I know for a fact, and
Dude.
I think they set some update. I gotta check and see how Bianca if she's healed or not. She really messed her hand up real bad. But
Evidently.
if Bianca's ready, then that's who they're gonna put for Jade. I'm sure that's what the plan is. But
This is crazy because we haven't seen Bianca since WrestleMania.
mhm.
That was in April, and
She she
this is December.
So it was injured prior, and then she went through the match and didn't have surgery, and she said she made it worse. So
Oh,
yeah, she said it was really it didn't heal. So she's had to undergo surgery. So God bless her. I hope that works out. But
so at first she was just opting to let it heal naturally.
she made it worse before WrestleMania. It was already hurt prior, she said. Then it got worse. It got injured worse during that match.
Okay.
And she needed surgery and didn't get it till afterwards because it didn't heal right.
Yeah.
Like she said, it had to be. I think it's a bone issue not being set right. So that's probably pretty painful.
Yeah.
So it's and you got to understand you need your hands.
Yeah. I understand.
So I get it. I think that's what what they're waiting on is for Bianca to come back. But you're still gonna need a roster underneath,
Yeah.
which is why I said I love Mercedes. And here's the thing. And as much as I love AEW, Tony Khan, you know I love you. They had the perfect recipe. What did I miss?
It's because it's more of a
Talk
talk show
show
now
now
and
and less
less
wrestling.
wrestling.
I love Jade, but she shouldn't be champion. I couldn't agree more, KO. Um,
Yeah,
and
no
I and
no
I
argument here.
and I love Tony. I figured I love Tony Khan, but I'm like Tony, you got to figure out a way. And it's not him because it's Kenny that was controlling the women's division and booking it. But um, you had you really had the right person. I don't know what the chemistry issue is. It shouldn't. It's like on paper, on paper. There's no way that Britt and Mercedes should not. They could both go. On paper, that's supposed to be a red hot feud, and they could have tore it down. Mercedes won Woman of the Year, as she should, sir.
Yes, she.
As she should. I don't know what Bailey's contract is, but she's in Bailey's ear. I can guarantee you that.
No, definitely.
Um,
And honestly, at this point, I would welcome it because I feel like she's not being appreciated. So like
and
maybe best case scenario, the same way Naomi, Junkie TNA got buzz, came back, rode their way. I'm like maybe Bailey can go to AEW somewhere and and eventually come back and they can kind of see her in a new light because now Bailey has what I call hell of a hand syndrome. And it sounds good.
until you realize what position
Like
it
you stay
forces you
employed, yeah, but just like with Dolph Ziggler, who was a hell of a hand,
in. Yep.
they will job you out because it's like, hey, anybody we have doubts about, let's let them beat up Dolph or let's let them beat up Bailey because we know Dolph or a Bailey will make them look good.
And it's I definitely think I mean Kenny, I don't know what they got to do to figure that out because I loved Britt Baker. I love me some Britt Baker. And I feel like her and Mercedes could make money. I don't know what it is, what was going on. They can make money. Those two, because the people wanted to see it. Like it wasn't, and I don't know if how they did.
Britt,
Something did not
Britt kind
happen.
of told her draws with
What
everybody. It seemed like
so
AEW.
so I don't know what the story. Like Tony says that we're okay. It's not what people think. That, and I'm like, but you gotta
Because she
you
was beefing with
at
MJF.
one point over something with Alicia Tout, his now wife. It you had when I say that woman was over, like that woman was over, like
Oh, I remember.
was
I
big
was
time
watching.
over, and as a heel, big time doing some really good stuff. Uh, can can absolutely can go between the ropes. Um, because who did she have that? Who did she have that match with? That lights out, that famous lights out match where she was bleeding.
Thunder
Wow.
Rosa.
Yes. Oh my God. They figured it out. They had now they're good, but they had like some kind of beef, and they figured that out how to get in the ring and still do business and make it work. And they absolutely did. The image of that woman bleeding and crawling towards the camera, I will never forget that. Like she's got the talent, and it can be done, right? If you do it right. Um,
And I,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I guess I understand why, in theory, they haven't done it, but I know TNA is not gonna let it happen. But the two, man, if I am so impressed with Leon Slater and Javon Evans. I'm so at 21 years of age, them dudes are special.
They got it, man.
They are special, and I'm like, you got TNA. I know it's a partnership, and like, what's crazy about this is that some of these guys, some of the fans will say, "Oh man, you AEW guys, y'all ain't letting these folks shine." And I'm like, really? And they say, well, look at how the partnership works. I said, okay, well, if the partnership works, you name me, one, because Joe Hendry ain't done it yet, neither. Name me one TNA dude that's the one an NXT title. It hasn't happened. They wrestle, they get on there, they've been on pay-per-views, but they're not winning. They're not winning titles. So I get it. The exposure is helping, but they're not winning. They're not winning championships either.
Yeah, because
But when they wrestled with AEW as a switch, they did. So I don't understand why everybody always downs me and says, "Oh, this partnership does it. This is way better." The exposure, I get it, but it worked both ways, like they won.
I am happy that TNA is going to be on AMC because I have AMC,
Mm-hmm.
and all due respect to Anthem, AMC is in way more home. Just straight up and down.
So it's can they figure these problems out? I mean, yes, but I think there is such a thing as too much talent. Now, for in the case of Mercedes, and this is me saying this in Mercedes defense because I love Mercedes.
Same.
Love Mercedes. Always have. You can't, and Mercedes is like reported to not be selfish, which is great, but she's got to be selfish where she is right now because beating her has to matter. It has to mean something, right? And so if you're talking about somebody that's gonna stop her doing this belt collector run, it needs to. And I'm using what's called as an example. It's got to be not necessarily her, but it's got to be a Thea Hale type, the next big
Yeah.
star that you're bringing up. It's got to be someone like that because you beat her for one of those major belts that she has. You're a made woman. Like it's got to be.
Well, it seems
And
like
I don't know who
it
who Kenny
seems
has.
it seems like
It could be Willow because Willow has the talent.
yeah
It could be Willow.
we're on the downturn because like she lost
It took
the
forever.
ROH belt back to Red Velvet.
It took forever
And,
for them to elevate.
and then I think she lost the Real Pro like in a dark match after AEW
Because right now,
something. I think she's done like 11 now.
so it's gotta mean something, and it's like
I've been told that the booking is now she's gonna lose every other belt slowly, gradually, and then somehow she'll finally get to the
because
TNT belt.
it took them forever to elevate Statland
Well, not TNT, but
world title. It took them
yeah,
forever to elevate Statland. And I
yo,
like and I
but she had that. Yo, man, they had to rehab her. I'm sorry, but that alien stuff.
it was weird booping people on the nose and all
Yeah,
that was stupid.
that didn't really scream main event.
No,
Same,
even though she had the talent, the gimmick didn't make sense, but the
same way
talent was there.
people like fight with me when I say Luchasaurus is not a main event gimmick to me. I'm like,
It's not.
you know,
It's not. And I like him, and he can go, but I like him and he can go, but no. But AEW will push and take talent and will take chances on talent that WWE wouldn't. Because one of my favorite things, and I don't know if KO's still here, one of my favorite things that I've seen, man, and that's I say that as a fan of like old school wrestling, man, there is nothing better I saw in 2025 than them damn the Outrunners. I hadn't seen anything
man, I
like
love them
that.
dudes, man.
Oh my God, Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd are the throwback that you needed.
Yes,
These people took tag team wrestling. The crowd is crazy to see the "you son of a bitch" elbow drop. That is the greatest move. They go crazy. Yeah, I know you've seen it.
Yes, yes, of course.
You son of a bitch. and
I
they
will say this though.
and they
I
are awesome.
stopped DVRing Collision, so I haven't seen them in a while.
They are over. Like it's. I mean they 100%. They 110% are completely over. Um, I think Moxley did a lot. I got his figure. I love me some. I do love me some Moxley. Um, I think I get it. I like Joe. Um, but
Well,
I
man,
think I think the feud that makes sense is and I know they backed off to give it distance, which is Swerve and Hangman. But Hangman probably should be your champion. Hangman has got what you need 100%. He's not the prototypical face because he will still cheat. He will if he has to, and he's willing to go wherever his opponent takes him. I love me some Hangman Page. I like him. And I love Swerve.
oh yeah, definitely, man. I just feel like WWE kind of fumbled the ball with him, man.
I absolutely fumbled Swerve.
I was like, that's a talented dude, man. You try to make that work. Man, I'm happy to see Joe with the belt, but I am a bit of a Samoa Joe stand. But also, I feel like this will probably be his last reign as
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
AEW champion.
He's winding down. We're pretty sure. Joe has been a wonderful savage. That
Man,
sounds terrible to say,
no,
but he has just
but
been
I
a
get it. I remember them TNA
man.
promos.
Even in AEW, he said some stuff that's like. I remember that man told. Was that MJF? He was talking. No, that was either MJ. I think it was MJF. He told. No, it was Swerve. He said you keep messing with me. He said I will choke you out and you will wake up like you would say you find out you're gonna feel just like you would let that you left a Diddy party too late.
Oh dang.
I said this dude is savage. Joe has always been savage on the mic.
Well, the most savage thing to me is the no sale of aerial stuff.
Oh yeah, that's and I mean he in WWE man it's like he's another one where WWE had the opportunity to do it and they didn't.
But to be fair, he was hurt a lot during his WWE.
But there was time when he was healthy and they didn't capitalize when they should have. I will never forget that man talking to a whole he cleared out the whole room of like there were like five guys in the ring and he roasted all five and didn't miss a beat. He told Jeff, he said, Jeff, I don't even know why you're out here. And he said, keep talking to Joe. Hey, you shut your mouth. Just pretend this is an AA group meeting and you shut up while I'm sharing with the group. I said, oh my God, he went there. Like it's and he said, Randy, he said, trust me, I gotta settle up with you. And when I defang the Viper, it won't come from nowhere. I mean, and then man, and all he had to do was look at AJ and say, oh, AJ, how's my girl Wendy? Like it worked out like it's Joe was great. I mean, he was great. And I just I don't know. They AEW's got a lot of talented guys too. They do. They got a lot of talented guys if they use them right.
um, I'm often curious about Ring of Honor because I don't have Honor Club, so like I don't get to
They got talent.
see that, man.
They got talent. Yeah, I can tell you that right now. They got some talent. Um,
Now, see, my concern about AEW, I guess, is now my concern about WWE is like just so many people on the roster, and I feel like it's just so easy to get lost in the shuffle in AEW.
there is such a thing as too much talent, man. There's 110% such a thing as too much talent. Now, when I see Rusev now, Rusev is he can't technically do what he was doing with this.
Yeah.
This is what he should be doing. This worked in AEW. He was getting, and I don't know why he didn't get to the. He should have broke through the glass ceiling potentially because he was over when he was just Miro. Like from I love that theme song from the theme to like his fuse were good. Like it was, and you just wonder like, wait a minute, this is it. Now he's sprinkled some of Miro into Rusev if you've noticed, but he's not really cutting the same promos because he shows you he can talk, and it's just he doesn't really do it. And I'm like, all he had to do was copy paste because Miro was over. Like what worked with Miro and he was the redeemer, it worked. It was absolutely working.
Man,
They have not
I'm still mad over WWE for bundling Rusev
you want to know why nothing surprises me when they bundle because they sometimes the most obvious thing is in their face and they don't use it. Because you know what? They bumped because the fact that they couldn't figure out carrying cross is beyond me when that man was right there in your face all the way over. Right there. And they didn't do anything with him either. He had to get. You remember he had to go through that whole thing with the mask because when he came from NXT, really all you had to do initially was just bring the NXT Karrion Kross up to the roster. That was it. He was ready made. There was nothing for
the
you to tamper with.
hourglasses and all that, man.
Vince,
Just a beautiful presentation.
just all you do is just copy and paste. That's it. Vince messed that up, right? Vince screwed him up. So then he got rehabilitated and here he is over, and they still wouldn't push it. They couldn't sign the man's wife. And I'm like, they are a package deal that works. I love no disrespect to Selena Vega and my main man Aleister Black. No disrespect, but they don't work the same as Charlotte. They don't work the same as Scarlett and Killer Cross. They don't. They don't work. They don't have that going on, and that's I know that's what they're trying to go for. But again, you brought Aleister. I say this jokingly. I don't know how many times I'm glad he came out and Andrade told what was going on, like his story, like why he has to wait. He's in a legal battle, which is crazy to me. It doesn't make sense. They got a year on this man. That don't even make sense. Usually it's 90 days. Doesn't even make sense. But and hopefully they can figure that out. But I get what Andrade is saying. You come back and go and look what I mean, and look, and they still not using you, and it don't make sense. And I get it. I get why he's frustrated because Aleister came back, and I'm like, when I'm watching, I'm like, bro, you were better off with the House of Black than you are what you're doing right now. To me, he is. He hasn't done anything.
Maybe he wants to be with his wife. I don't know.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what it is, but they're not doing anything with him. They're not doing anything with him nor his wife, and that's a frustrating thing. House of Black was over.
Yes,
The House of Black was over, and it worked. That was a good stable, and it wasn't like they wasn't burying them. Like they got TV time, they won championships, like they were over. And I'm like, why? I get it. And maybe he wanted. I get it with his wife, and I'm like, but Alistair, come on, man. What's gonna happen? You about the Shinsuke, and I like Shinsuke, but you about the Shinsuke. Well, they gonna just have you come out, do a match or two here or there, and go. Even though the talent's good, you just ride out the contract, bro. Because that man is talented as hell.
And Shinsuke is somebody else who was great in NXT.
I think. I mean, and like I said, sometimes the obvious things are in your face. I don't know if this was. I don't know what happened. I know they said it was anxiety, but I was like, y'all could have figured. You guys should have figured out Lars. Y'all should have figured out Lars was it, and he had it. He had it, and they didn't figure it out. Like
didn't he have some legal issues?
He had something they dug up from back in the past with some tweets that he apologized for that they forgave him, and but the thing was he had anxiety. He got diagnosed with it, and what is this? They're not bringing back Karrion Kross.
Man, screw out it. Bring back Karrion Kross.
They're not bringing back Karrion Kross. That man, that everybody, and what's wild is he was so good at his gimmick that everybody thought it was a work.
Man.
Everybody thought that was a
I
work,
don't want it to be a
and
work.
he told y'all. He said, "I know that y'all think this is a work, but the way I knew it wasn't. There's one way I knew it wasn't a work because WWE will only allow you to work with if he had taken like something with TNA or Evolve, I would have okay. But when he took independent bookings, they will not let you do that. When he got to do that, GCW, when he got to do that, the only person they let do that was Bradshaw on a Legends deal because he's doing what he wants to do. But outside of that, they don't let you do that. They do not let you do that. So I knew when he started taking independent bookings, I said, no, this is real. This is not a because when he went on Ariel Awani's show and he said, I have some things I can't contractually say right now, but until this contract, until it plays out, he said, but I can tell you that this is not a work. He said, I can tell you that. He said, I'm dead serious. And like I'm like, they're a package deal. You offer the man what like you want him to sign and you say we'll figure that out later. I don't blame him. No, we ain't doing that. No, you're gonna sign my wife too. And
Like,
we're gonna figure this out now. But they
do they
told him just to sign.
understand that he has to go home to her and live in the same house? Now you finna bring trouble to his home. That's
And they're
crazy.
a package deal. They work best together. So but no, carrying cross, I don't see that happen. I wish, but
Me
I don't
too.
but I don't see that happening. Not in a million years do I see carrying cross coming back. Um it's it's just a thing where they can figure this thing out if you have the right creative mind in place where you can figure it out. But they have fumbled some good talent as of lately. They really have. Alistair Black is probably outside of the love for his wife. He can't really be thinking, man, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This time last year, that man was tearing the house down in house with House of Black. So
I agree.
so it doesn't it that I mean you do what you do for your wife, but for the love of your wife, but I don't see how that benefited him. Um and then of course, even when Andrade was working and figured it out and had good matches, like when him and Carmelo had that good rivalry and it was real good, I was like, okay, you're gonna elevate somebody, right? No, didn't elevate either one of them.
Yeah.
So I was just like, if I'm Andrade, I'm like, nope. What? Let's be honest. What has Miro done? Like he's had this thing with Dom, which I get, then that just went away, and he's just there. And it's like, why? Like why? I mean, I don't get it. I really don't get it because you got.
I guess because WWE still considered the quote unquote big time the
I mean, they are considered still the big time. Um, but uh, they they did right getting like Cody did right. I think he absolutely did the right thing, and then they used Cody to get some more talent out. But at the same token, they haven't treated anybody else like they treated Cody.
yeah.
So I'm not saying they treat him bad, but they hadn't treated anybody else like they treated him. He's replaced John Cena. Nobody else is any to me that has come from there is in any real meaningful position.
I,
And
I
that's
agree, man. I agree.
and that's my problem. Like I'm not hating on them because I want all wrestlers to be successful
Of
and I want all
course.
wrestling to do good. But some stuff just doesn't make sense. Like I personally I wouldn't have had Rick I wouldn't have had over even leaving not 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 Ricky, and I like Ricky. I got no issue with Ricky like winning the North American title and working his way because he hadn't even had that belt that long. And I'm like, not Oba should have been trying to think who do they have? Because you want Trick to go. Um, Who do they have? Like, who credibly do I think? No, because Ethan needs to go too. So not him, unless it's Ethan temporarily, like till he comes up.
Yeah, because I really thought
But
this was gonna be like when Sasha Banks had her rematch against Baylor. I was like, well, Ricky gonna find a way to pull this out again. Then we gonna send over to the main roster. Then I was like, oh no, you had to win it back. I didn't expect that. And then, like I said, in like contrast, I figured Trick might have been on his way up too, but it was like the way he just lost to that dude was just
and there's my man DJ Ice Cold over Femi is the next greatest. And he's now. He's now. But they don't. They the problem was n- nobody and that match was good. I'm not saying it wasn't. They put on some good matches. I mean, Ricky did. He really did against Trick. He had some good matches, but nobody believed because I didn't. Nobody believed when he beat Oba. Nobody believed it. And I'm like, that was the wrong. No, that wasn't really the right direction to go.
yeah.
Um, and him and Trick had great matches, but it's these are NXT guys that are ready to go. Like Ricky could probably stay there for not long. He could probably stay there for maybe a year. He could
Yeah,
stay there maybe a year and then move. But
yeah.
but Trick shouldn't be messing around in there. Femi should have been out of there. Absolutely should have been out of there.
I was low key hoping that even though Trick's loss was dumb, I was like, okay, are you having him do the honors on the way out of NXT? Maybe he'll pop up somewhere. I don't, like I said, I don't understand the booking.
I don't know who's
I
booking these
believe
shows.
in, wrestling. I love the idea of wrestling. I want to see people flourish. I just, I have hope, man. That is it now. The hope. Sometimes it dims and gets diminished, and sometimes I see some foolishness and mismanagement, but I'm just like, hopefully they can figure this out.
How many people do we have from NXT in the last 2 years actually doing something on the main roster? Man, you saying something? That's what I can't lie and tell you that. Um, they haven't they have botched.
So many people.
They no they haven't ruined them. Like when I say ruined, you got to be like what Vince did to Karrion Cross, like ruined, where you got to be rehabilitated. I don't think they haven't done too much of that, but they have botched them. They have botched Carmelo Hayes, which makes me now listening to you, KO, feel like they'll botch Trick Williams, who should come in on fire. Um,
Now
if if it was me,
was Jacob Fatu in NXT?
uh,
Okay.
if it was me, and this is an unpopular opinion because and I'm only saying this because I actually love the wrestler I'm about to name. But if it was me, because now it appears that you're making Carmelo a face. That's the direction that it's going in now. If it's me, the perfect and this can tie back around. But what you should do, Ilya Dragunov should get beat by Trick Williams.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
He should get beat by Trick Williams. Think about carrying cross. He don't want to take bumps. Like a salesman don't want to sell the thing. Bumps up. You know, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know, man. Okay, I mean that could be true. I hadn't heard that, but because I know the one in NXT took bumps. I
Damn,
don't
yeah,
care.
it is.
Karrion Cross took bumps in NXT. He did a lot of them when he was bald. He absolutely took them. And he gave them back too. But I don't know. You got to get the Carrion has to wrestle the right people. Carmelo as a face don't fit his persona. Yeah, I mean I hear you, he can. I think he can be a face. He can or a tweener, but you can't have. I mean, unless you're gonna pair them together, and they've already done that before. You can't have him and Trick both. That ain't gonna work. I mean, if they're rivals, that's just not gonna work. And they clearly are rivals. So I mean, you could do it, but I don't know. I think that's how you would bring in Trick Williams. I mean, you would bring Trick Williams in. He says, "Hey, my first night in here, and I'm the new United States champion." It's instantly, boom, Trick
Oh
Williams. You
yeah.
and that's it. It's all you had to do. But probably, and I love Ilya Dragunov. I do. Ilya Dragunov's a bad man. Um,
Somebody need to cut Ed Dragon off that the intent is not to hurt your opponent.
he gets hurt himself. Like,
No, but also like, man,
well, they did bring back DIY, so they could. They hadn't done that. Well, I ain't gonna say they hadn't done nothing with DIY, but no, they hadn't done right by them either.
the way was so good too.
The way in NXT, well, yeah, and they broke that faction up. That they it's hard, man. It's yeah. KO, you're making good points. I don't know. I don't know where they go. I don't know where they go. I seriously don't. I mean, because you got Drew McIntyre that they're not doing anything with. Uh, I I hear that. Although and this is not being funny because I love I love me some Penta, but it's almost like they're not gonna let Penta get but so far like they're gonna stop him. The way it was supposed to be so good, and it was the way it was good.
Yeah, the way was great.
The way it was good. But it's like I can tell like now I heard that him and Phoenix are gonna team together again as the Lucha Brothers, but it's like they,
But he hasn't been
they
cleared, so they can't do.
but I can tell that they have a ceiling on Penta. I can just you can see it. You can see like they're not letting him like they're not gonna let him when they not it's like he's great. He's gonna sell merch. He does that, and I think they're not gonna job him out. But I feel like there's a ceiling. I can see a ceiling on him, which I shouldn't, but I feel like there's a ceiling on him
Man, it seems like
because
it's a ceiling on every lucha but Ray.
yeah, because he should have.
Like Lucha House Party, I thought they were kind of getting over it.
There's a ceiling on Penta. And I love Penta. Believe me, I love his new music, and we all love the smooth operator walk. But
Yeah,
it's there's a ceiling on him though. My gut feeling
that's
says
why I didn't really want them to debut separate. I mean, I know why they did it because Ray was still hurt, and they kind of tacked on time to his AEW contract. But
and then but to Tony Khan's credit, he did eventually let him out. He did let him go before all the time was up. He did let him go. But they're not what let's say. Man, you know what? That boy KO, you said one right there. That really, I've wondered that too. I wasn't even gonna bring it up.
it's like they
I,
just ignored
it's like
a
that
beautiful storyline.
that man when that man cut the braids and he was Ron Killers again, and we was gonna get something, and then they just said, "Yeah, we're gonna take you back to Ron Cena." I said, "You got to be kidding me!"
Yeah, that was crazy,
So they
and it
just
was
ignored it,
extremely disappointing, man. I'm just like,
and the crowd was ready for it.
yes,
The crowd was ready for the unhinged art. Like Ron, they wanted Ron the truth. Like he even said, "My name is Ron Killers." Like I was like, okay, here we go. Here we go to TNA. We finna get the guy that was the first black NWA World Heavyweight Champion. We finna get that dude.
so good.
And they said, yeah, yeah, we just gonna act like that. Yeah, we just gonna move you back. We're gonna let your hair grow back out. We're gonna move right along and act
And
like
I'm
that didn't
just
happen.
like, what was the point of re-signing? Like that man could have went to AEW or somewhere, man.
There's a lot of talent to his point that I wonder what that they just don't do anything with. Like they had a tag team that you may or may not know about that when I tell you was big time over, and they never used them either until one they just let them stay on there until they got hurt. And that was my main man Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. Mustache Mountain was over, and they wasted Mustache Mountain too. I thought he was coming back as TNA R2, but of course you know why that ended. Nope. They just swept that under the rug and said, I thought he was too. That's why I just said the guy that won the first black guy to win the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship.
What kind of let me know it was over? Was it dopey? I mean, was that dopey like mirror routine that him and Cena did when Cena became a face again? I was like, damn it.
And he said, LOL did not like them like that. They didn't like. I don't know, man. Like you said, they should have done they should have done the right thing, and they did not do it. Um, who? I mean, I'm not surprised. They have a habit of taking the hottest thing and not working because they if you've ever heard MVP speak about it, there was no reason for the Hurt Business not to be fair. The Hurt Business was all the way over,
Dude,
and they
let me tell
never
you something about the
completed.
Hurt Business.
And they
Man.
never completed that story was just cooking.
Let me tell you something, man. I don't buy WWE shirts off WWE.com. I normally wait until they're severely discounted on Hot Topic. Who was the exception? The Hurt Business. I was marking out for them dudes, man. 3 black dudes just being super badass.
They're gonna push Hank and Tank to the moon, which is crazy.
They are.
Which is crazy.
They the next Otis and Tucker.
And I never, okay, and I never got. I didn't get.
But I bought their Hurt Business, and I was crushed.
Yeah, the Hurt Business. I didn't get. I don't get Hank and Tank. Okay, I just gotta be honest with you. I don't. And before anyone says what I think they might think, nope, it's not that reason. It's not that reason at all because
it looks like
because the last tag team, I was never a fan of Heavy Machinery. I just was not. But I can tell you that I did love what was I forget? Oh, and they didn't do anything with it. They let them have some reigns, but they never really fully used them either. And that was Trevor Murdoch and Lance Cade. Oh my God, were they good?
Oh, yeah, they were good.
And that's Hank and Tank wishes they were that good. And they didn't do nothing before that. Before Lance Cade passed, they didn't do anything with them. And they had it. They those boys had it. They had it. Cade and him, yeah, they were good. Hank and Tank, hell, what's the dude's name? His partner's not around, but Briggs and what was it? Briggs and what's the Stratton? What was the guy's name? Briggs and I forgot the other guy. You know, like they got him like saying he's a loose cannon or something. Now he was on his team. Now he's beefing with the Ishimura guy, but no. But Josh Briggs was teamed with another dude. I forgot what his name was.
Oh, that might be when I wasn't watching.
Man, they were good too. And it's like, but that listen, man, there's people that they have fumbled. I mean, for a long time. I know that Vince fumbled Keith Lee. We know that. I don't know what the hell, like what was wrong with y'all. Like you had Dominic Dijakovic, and he was incredible, and you couldn't figure that out. Yeah. Him and Keith Lee was tearing the house down at NXT. Like you couldn't figure that out. Him and Dijakovic.
Well, Dominic got stuck in that dumb angle where all of them wore them masks and all this.
Yes, retribution, but which was stupid. Instead of just letting that man come up and wrestle like he was, because he could clearly go. Yeah. And it didn't make sense. Now, I did see. I know it was a one-off, and he don't have a contract. But I am so not a fan. Look, man, Zack Ryder is dead. That's Matt Cardona now. Like, let Matt Cardona be let him be Matt who he is. like the whole Zack Ryder thing. Like that's one reason he didn't want to sign. And I don't blame him. He hasn't signed a full-time contract with them because he did it, the one-off. But that man doesn't want to be Zack
Zack
Ryder.
Ryder,
Why?
yeah. He's evolved beyond it.
He's exactly the death match king. Like what the hell? Like no, he's a serious badass wrestler, and it's like no, 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 no. It does no. That's not the way to go. And I get it. They like to make money off intellectual properties that they did, but you can't create every damn body. You just can't. Some people you didn't make, and it's okay. It is okay if you didn't make them. Just roll with it. Like
But
it's
that's always been the problem with Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, whatever you want to call him. He manufactures his push, and they just like,
they don't
well,
like that.
well, no, that isn't what we want right now. And I'm like, so you don't want somebody who's doing work that you would have to do, who's really making your job easy, but you don't want that, which is lunacy to me. That is insanity.
Always ready, Matt Cardona, the Deathmatch King, could be tearing the house down. Could be.
I'm not a big deathmatch guy, but
I mean, he don't even have to have. I'm just saying, like, just wrestling, he could tear the house down. But
I think
they're
yeah.
not. But they're not gonna. At the end of the day, and I know a lot of it was Vince, right? But I'm not gonna act like they didn't do stupid things. Like when one of the reasons that Dean Ambrose left there and couldn't get over is because you wanted this man to wear a gas mask and get a shot in his backside. Like stop. like stop. Like it's crazy. Like it doesn't make some of the ideas just don't make they don't that was Vince, but
It's like they like overstir the pot or something like that. You know what I'm
the
saying?
man was already ready. Like he didn't need a gas mask
Nah,
and then talking about getting the crowd inoculated and all this kind of nonsense. See, KO, I could rip these folks apart. And I'm trying not to do that, but you guys can see the passion that we have in terms of just talking wrestling. It's there. I'm glad I got to cover John Cena, his last match. Um, but I will see where we're gonna go from here. I'm sure when we meet again, I was gonna tell you to careful. When we meet it, by the time we have our next podcast on the next 5 count, I'm sure we're gonna have a whole lot to talk about because yep, yeah, it's okay. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that will have happened that we are not going to agree with, and we're gonna see what happens. But I promise you, KO, I appreciate you. I appreciate my man P. I appreciate everybody tuned in. Please make certain that you continue to make the comments heard down there. And I promise you, the next 5 count, when we come to you again, it'll be 2026. But by that point, I'm not sure. I don't think is there any. No, we had Saturday Night's Main Event. Is there another pay-per-view? What's the next one? Is there something before the Rumble?
you said January. Well, no, January 5th is the first
The first
Raw.
Raw. So by the time we come back to you, we will see if Braun Breaker has become the new world heavyweight champion, which I don't think he will. I could be wrong, but we're gonna see if that's happened. We're gonna see what goes on with Maxine Dupree. We're gonna see what goes on with a lot of these champions. I can't wait. So you guys have a great Chris. Excuse me. You guys have a great Christmas, a great holiday, and be ready in 2026 for me and my main man, Brother Seabear, to pin y'all shoulders to the mat for a 5 count.